Welcome to this Design Technology Technical Knowledge webcast on structures. This webcast is brought to you by PrimaryDT and is written and delivered by Laurence Keel. In this webcast we are going to cover the following: a reminder of how the curriculum is structured in design technology and the national curriculum requirements for teaching about structures in Key Stages 1 and 2. How the national curriculum requirements for structures can be broadened as part of a scheme of work in schools. We shall then look at the key technical knowledge that is needed to teach this strand of learning effectively before providing some examples of projects that allow children to consolidate their understanding of structures. Finally, we shall provide details of forthcoming webcasts that take a deeper dive into structures. The current national curriculum for design technology was revised in 2013, and bear in mind there is currently a review of all curriculum subjects taking place. The national curriculum provided a basic overview of the curriculum requirements to allow schools to develop a bespoke curriculum that was particularly relevant to that school. Schools can choose the areas that will be covered in depth and be specific about the knowledge that the children are expected to know and remember at each phase of their learning. Here is a brief reminder of how the national curriculum can be divided into two areas of knowledge, that of disciplinary knowledge and substantive knowledge. The disciplinary knowledge focuses on how the subject works and the creative and iterative processes of designing, making and evaluating, whilst the substantive knowledge includes the technical knowledge about products, knowing how they work and how they are made, and this can be divided into 6 strands of learning. Included within each strand of learning are the skills and techniques associated with each of these strands of learning, and we might call this the practical knowledge. And this shows how these strands of learning can be used to deliver the technical, practical and disciplinary knowledge as children progress from year 1 through to the end of year 6. As children progress through each strand of learning, they are expected to acquire new knowledge and link this to existing knowledge to create a better understanding of the subject. As you can see, teaching and learning about structures is one of the 6 strands of learning. So, as children progress through the curriculum, they should learn about structures and apply this knowledge when designing and making products. These are the technical knowledge statements from the national curriculum that are specifically about structures. As you can see, it is pretty vague and focuses on children being taught how structures can be made stronger, stiffer and more stable. On this slide we have provided an overview of how the national curriculum guidance on structures can be expanded to specify what knowledge the children should be taught and provide more detail of the teaching and learning content in Key Stages 1 and 2. Children should know about different types of structures with a focus on frame and shell structures. In studying these structures, children should learn how these structures can be made stronger, stiffer and more stable by choosing appropriate materials based on their properties and a range of techniques such as layering materials, combining materials together and triangulation of frame structures. Also, as part of their studies, children should learn a range of techniques to join materials together to create structures, and as they progress through the curriculum, they should become more proficient in choosing the correct materials, techniques and tools to create structures. Learning about structures can be further enhanced through children having the opportunity to use construction kits to build structures. Central to effective teaching is teachers having strong subject knowledge about structures, and so in the following section of the webcast we are going to focus on the technical knowledge needed in primary schools related to structures. We will be using copies of some of the slides that are used in our scheme of work to provide children with the knowledge and understanding of structures. A structure is made by combining materials or parts to create a 3-dimensional shape. Structures can be made in different ways using a variety of different materials. Some structures occur naturally in nature. whereas other structures have been made by human endeavour. Basically, there are three types of structures. In primary schools, children learn about both frame structures and shell structures. The third type of structure are solid structures, and these gain their strength, stiffness and stability due to their mass. Examples of these structures include dams, the Great Pyramids and brick walls. Framework structures are constructed from pieces of materials that are joined together to create a unit. Shell structures, on the other hand, are hollow structures that are made from a thin outer layer of material. Shell structures get their strength, stiffness and stability from their shape and the materials that they are made from. Examples of shell structures include egg boxes, seashells, tennis balls and food packaging. Some structures are made by using both framework structures and shell structures combined. A good example of this is a tent. Nowadays, most tall buildings are constructed from a strong framework which is then covered with an outer shell structure which we commonly call cladding. Linking the understanding of structures to the children's own bodies is a good teaching strategy. The skeleton is a frame structure that holds up our body, supports the weight of all the organs and parts of our body, and holds them all in place. The skin is our body's outer layer and is a shell structure that holds all our organs and body parts inside our body and helps to protect them. Here are some more examples of structures that children may encounter in their everyday lives. These structures support weight in different ways. These structures support and hold things together in one place. When introducing the children to structures, you can challenge them to find and identify frame and shell structures both in the classroom and also outside of the classroom. Often at Key Stage 1, children can visit the local playground to identify the different frame structures and possibly some shell structures that are used to make the playground equipment. In the next few slides, we are going to look at some techniques that are used to make structures strong, stiff and stable. As well as choosing appropriate materials for the structure, adding layers of these materials will make the structure stronger. In primary schools, children will experience making structures using a range of materials, and it is likely that many of these products that they design will be made of paper, card or cardboard. Card is thick paper, and because card is thicker, it is stronger and stiffer than paper. Cardboard is engineered card. Cardboard can be made by 2 sheets of card sandwiched by another layer of folded zigzag card. Cardboard is a good example of how sheet materials can be engineered through techniques such as laminating, corrugating and ribbing. When working to create framework structures, the key learning for children is that triangles are used to strengthen framework structures. Children can be challenged to identify the triangular shapes in framework structures. Framework structures are composed of vertical and horizontal pieces. Struts are used to create triangular shapes between these columns and beams to increase the strength and stability of these structures. When working with wood, children can be challenged to create wooden framework structures that are strengthened by using card triangles. In our scheme of work, we use the jinx technique to create wooden structures that are strong, stiff and stable. Structures can also be made more stable by using one of the following techniques: a wider base, a heavier base, or by using supporting buttresses. The Eiffel Tower is a good example to share with children of techniques that are used to create strong, stiff and stable structure. In these projects, children create a simple wooden frame using the Jinx method as the basis for a photograph frame, or the chassis to hold the wheel and axle mechanism for a teddy buggy, or as the frame for a shadow puppet theatre. In these projects, children in Key Stage 1 begin to learn how to make framework structures by joining different materials together to create a model playground equipment or to make a model of a monkey enclosure. These ideas can be further developed in Key Stage 2 when children design and make a prototype marble run toy. As children progress through the curriculum, they use the Jinx method to create a box framework which is used as the basis for an animal home or to house the mechanism for a model orrery. As children progress to the end of Key Stage 2, the box framework can be used to support and house crumble motors and a mechanical system used to make a working fairground ride model for the local toy museum. To develop their understanding of shell structures, children can design and make a desk tidy or create a papier-mâché shade for their table lamp project. To consolidate their understanding of shell structures, they can also create packaging for a product they have made, such as an electronic builder buddy toy. In webcast 28, we will focus more on some cardboard engineering techniques that children can apply when making products and structures out of card or cardboard. And in webcast 29, we shall cover the Jinx method that can be used to create wooden frame structures that are strong, stiff and stable. All units of work, product examples, teaching ideas, photographs and learning activities featured in this webcast have been taken from the Primary Design Technology Scheme of Work. The PrimaryDT website provides information about the content of over 50 units of work that have been written as part of the Primary Design Technology Scheme of Work. Each unit is available for immediate digital download from the website. Each unit is priced at £10. Each unit of work includes medium-term planning, lesson presentation slides, a knowledge organiser and all the digital resources needed to teach the unit. Discount prices are available for schools who wish to buy multiple units of work in order to create a scheme of work or to supplement their existing scheme. The PrimaryDT website also contains many resources and guidance that can be downloaded free of charge. Laurence Keel has over 35 years of experience of working in primary education as teacher, head teacher and local authority school improvement advisor. He has authored several books covering design technology, art and design, science and STEM subjects in primary education. Laurence has worked with PrimaryDT in creating the Primary Design Technology Scheme of Work. Laurence works across the country providing bespoke CPD for schools, academy trusts and local authorities. Please contact support@primarydt.com if you are interested in booking some bespoke CPD for your school or organisation.